The very first Ripple XRP ETF has now been applied for. Will it be approved? Is it even something we want to be going forward? So diving in a little deeper here for you guys, an application for a Bitwise XRP exchange traded fund ETF has appeared on the state of Delaware's Division of Corporations website. Cointelegraph independently confirmed the filing with a Bitwise spokesperson. We're going to take a look into what happened when the Bitcoin ETF was launched, when the Ethereum ETF was launched. Was it a positive thing for the charts? Was it a negative thing for the charts? We also now know Coinbase may have been selling IOUs to Blackrock for their ETF. It wasn't backed by actual Bitcoin. Lots of craziness going on in the ETF scenarios, in the ETF sagas. Will this new potential XRP ETF be good, or will it be a flop? We will also be diving over here into the XRP charts to see if we can get an idea of where we're going to the upside, downside. We're also going to be taking a look at Bitcoin because, as we know, this runs the market right now. It is making a very interesting pattern, which we'll cover. And then we'll also jump into Ethereum. Not looking as good as we see on Bitcoin's chart. This is starting to have the massive.
Before we dive in, please note that the opinions in this video are for informational and educational purposes only and do not constitute financial, legal, or investment advice. All investments, including cryptocurrencies, carry risks and potential losses. Always do your own research and consult a licensed financial advisor. We are not licensed financial advisors, and relying on our content for financial decisions is at your own risk. By watching, you are agreeing that we are not responsible for any losses or damages, and we do not guarantee specific results or outcomes. Some links below may be affiliate links, and we earn commissions, which helps support value-based videos like this. We also hold positions in some discussed cryptocurrencies because we only talk about what we believe in. However, this should not be interpreted as a recommendation for you to do the same.
As we are starting to see this crypto mania, the crypto excitement is starting to roll over and boil over into politics. And there's been more and more information coming out about Trump and his support for politics, or his support for crypto. Kamala actually was anti-crypto, but now she's always up with the newest fad. And crypto is the new thing that they're trying to be involved in. As we know, we even have the vice presidential debate going on. So everything is becoming very political for obvious reasons. We got the election coming in November. But as we can see here, Kamala Harris knows crypto voters are up for grabs. New polls confirm. So is the Democratic nominee Kamala Harris going to start pandering towards crypto voters? That is up for grabs right now. So new polling suggests that crypto voters could be a meaningful impact on the outcome of our election, and they're still divided on who to vote for. Current Vice President Kamala Harris is improving her politics around the complicated subjects of U.S. crypto policy, and new polling data suggests it could have a meaningful impact on the outcome of the 2024 presidential election. So let me know your opinion down in the comments. Do you think that Kamala coming along with the crypto thing is a good thing? Are you more for Kamala? Are you more for Trump? Let us know down in the comment section. The nationwide and battleground state polling conducted by HarrisX and published by Consensus, the software developer behind the MetaMask wallet and helmed by Joseph Lubin, shows that her path to victory in November is wider when crypto voters are counted rather than ignored. When it comes to the voters out there, it says here that a candidate's support of pro-crypto policies as being extremely or somewhat important to them. 49%. That's right. 49% of the people polled, and who knows how big of a representation of that, but us, the crypto voting bloc, has a huge, huge voting power. 1 out of every 2 Democratic voters says the same thing, as do half of the GOP voters. You can get an increase to 85% saying it is important when looking at crypto owners, which comprise of 19% of the US population and 81% for those who would likely invest in crypto for the first time in the next 12 months. 34% of the US population. So if you take the newcomers that may be coming in the next 12 months, plus the existing, that gets us now to 34% of the US population. So as we've been telling you for a very long time, you are early, because look at this. The people who own crypto at this point, 19% of the US population only. And so far, only Donald Trump, the presidential nominee for the GOP, has been capitalizing on this trend to date. While Trump has been loud and proud about his support for Bitcoin and the broader crypto community in the US, in fact, we know he went to the Bitcoin Con, the Bitcoin conference, and talked about crypto. He's still definitely adopting to it. We know that his son, Barron Trump, obviously is really on board. We even know that he potentially launched a meme coin that went crazy viral, and then all of a sudden it had this weird scenario behind it. You can go do the research on that. But as we know so far, Harris was completely quiet on it, or even anti-crypto. Political insiders understand that crypto, not just the topic, but also the very term itself, is a third rail for her campaign. Touch it and get burned. And this is unsurprising given that some of her potential base are seasoned soldiers of the anti-crypto army. And in the article, it goes on that they're starting to turn around on that because they have to. They're flip-flopping in order to get more voters. And the reason why is because crypto voters are still up for grabs despite Trump being far ahead in terms of support of the ecosystem. That's the second big story from this polling. It shows that 74% of crypto owners are likely to consider voting for a candidate outside of their political party if they support pro-crypto policies, whereas only 16% are unlikely to do so. A net 58 percentage points benefit to the candidate with pro-crypto policy positions. And the article continues to go on, but the reason why I wanted to bring this up to us today is because we do know that crypto is important for America going forward. We know it's important for us and our financial futures going forward as crypto holders or crypto users or even crypto investors, whatever you would prefer to call yourself. But right now, with politics being such up in the air, I wanted to kind of go over this article that I found, I read through. So Kamala Harris was not a big fan of crypto at all. Trump comes out, goes to the Bitcoin conference, really gets behind Bitcoin, rallies it. He says all of his three sons are really, really smart when it comes to crypto, have multiple wallets. Kamala Harris sees this big surge wave of trendiness and then also excitement of crypto voters going to Trump. And now she's trying to win those back. So, obviously the whole rush to presidency, the whole campaign for presidency, it's a popularity contest. And right now, for popularity in the crypto space, Trump is winning that, in my opinion. Let me know down in the comment section if you think it's Trump or if you think it's Kamala winning. All right, so now let's jump over into the crypto charts. Before we jump over to that ETF information, we're going to be finding a couple of things that are very, very important. So number one, we're going to go over here and we're going to grab our horizontal ray and we're going to just leave the wicks alone. We're not going to touch them. But what we'll do is we'll go from here. All right, now we're looking currently at the weekly chart. So as we can tell, we had a huge amount of resistance along this trend line here. It finally broke out. And in fact, recently we've broken out above our second trend line. So when we drop it down to a smaller time frame, we can look here on the daily chart. And let's go ahead and put on our indicators that we would like to use. All right, so when we're looking here at the daily charts, we've gone ahead and flipped these over to the Heikin-Ashi candles, look a little more smooth. I mean, look at how erratic it is when you're looking at these regular candles. So we'll take a look for symmetry on the charts to make it look a little smoother here. We've got Heikin-Ashi. We can see inside of this channel has been a very, very important level. And we've finally broken out to the upside. Now, what's also really important that you can do with your charts at home, and by the way, you can use TradingView, it is free. But one of the things that I love to do when I'm charting out TradingView is if you get the horizontal lines here and you just break a couple of them out and put them out there, and we're going to put them at the key levels, and that's going to be 45 cents. So we'll go coordinates, and then it's going to be 0.45 right there. And then we'll change the coordinates on this one, and it's going to be 0.55 right there. And then we're going to do this one here, settings to 0.65. And there we go. So as you can see, these levels have been very, very key levels when it comes to XRP. And then we're going to need one more to the upside because we're moving to the upside, guys. We're definitely wanting to trend that way, 0.75. And you can see last time it wicked right into there. this previous time, which happened on March 13th, it didn't even reach there. Why? Because, well, it created a new high for the trend before it started breaking back down to the lower side of the trend. All right, so we're going to go ahead and flip it back now that we've got our lines drawn back to the regular traditional candles. The good news is we do now have a break above this resistance line to the upside of that trend. It has come back down, retested that yesterday. We do have a brand new candle that just started off and it is green. When we look at the weekly chart here, we can see that when it broke through to the upside, look where it tested to, 65 cents, rejected the 65-cent level, came back down, and now that is testing off of our 10 exponential moving average. So you can see here this orange line is your 10 exponential moving average. But let's take a look and see how important these levels are. So first off, we're going to look at 65 cents. So it busted above it, wicks pretty high, got to the 75-cent level, but look at where these bodies just continued to hang out right here at 65 cents. Broke back down, came under the 55-cent, recovered to the upside, and then it wicked multiple weeks in a row before breaking back down. And then where did it break down to ultimately? That 45-cent level. Now we finally started getting some actual pressure to the upside, came back, retested these moving averages, and it has now broken above this level right here, which was at 60. Now we'll take a look at this on the monthly chart. And as we can see, price came down under all of these moving averages, which is the 30 moving average, the 50 exponential moving average, broke to the upside. In fact, let's go ahead and clear all of those off the chart. Now, what's really cool about this, if we go from the high here, which was $1.96, we got a high of $1.96 at this point right here. And this was back in the month of April 2021. And then our most recent low, and we draw the Fibonacci's from here, getting back to the golden pocket 786 brings us up to $1.60. So the higher time frame, obviously we're stuck in this little area, starting to make some progress to the upside, but $1.60 is where we're looking for price to get back to. When we take a look at this month, we currently have 29 days left in the candle. We did have a nice dip down to the downside that did bounce off of our 30 exponential moving average here. But what I've come to see is when the 10 exponential moving average is above both the 30 and the 50 on any time frame, we're looking more of a bullish scenario. So right now on the monthly, we are bullish posture right now. You can see price actually last month took off from that level. This month starting off to the downside. Let's look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart's looking bullish. As you can see, our white line has crossed over to the upside and it's continued to use as a support. We do not want price to break down below this 10 exponential moving average at 57 cents. We look at on the daily chart. So yesterday, price was coming back down below the white 10 exponential moving average. Today, we're starting to make that move back up. You can see actually price dipped in between the 30-50 inside the little gap there. That is a relatively strong sign when that gets into that level and rejects from it to the upside. But again, we have the area of interest on the daily sitting right here only at 65 cents. But what we really care about is on that monthly chart, it's sitting at $1.60. So will this news of this ETF help propel XRP to the upside? Or will we have a pullback into the downside 786 and also fill our fair value gap to the downside right here on this daily candle? So as you guys know, there is a fair value gap right here. So price tends to fill those gaps. And if it were, that fair value gap puts us right at that 55-cent level. And then we can make our way to the upside. However, we are currently sitting at this 60-cent support level, and we may just go ahead and move to the upside. So those are my two bullish scenarios. I think we could have a small pullback into this area, fill that gap, move to the upside. And then, of course, we could just continue moving on to the upside right now. Because like I said, when we turn on the moving average ribbon, we've gotten back above that 10. And that white level is above the 50 and the 30. Jumping over to Bitcoin, as you can see, we have for the last 3 days had a pretty significant drop to the downside. And when we take a look at our Maxwell suite on what it's got for us, it has a 786 recovery all the way down here at 55,000. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen, but usually after a run, if we're going by Fibonacci standards, it could come back down to the 786, 55,500 level, and then reboot from there. However, right now you can see there is the 200 exponential moving average right here below us. That will be a significant support at the 0.5 level of the fib. So we could be seeing a nice recovery here. So when we look at a smaller time frame like the 4-hour, the 4-hour here is showing us a pretty good indication of what I was talking about. As you can see, when the white line, the 10 exponential moving average, is above the 30 and the 50, we have a nice continued rise to the upside. Right now, we've had a pretty hard decline. Look at this right here. So we are coming down pretty deep, and also the 30s crossing over there. So we potentially are in for a continued drop to the downside, getting into this 786 here as well, which is at 55,500. The only thing that can stop this is the fact that right now we are in an area of interest. As you can see right here, the green. So you have the red, which is the selling area, people taking profits. And this is the buying level on the 4-hour chart. We are getting a bounce from here, but we're going to watch, because if this price runs up and bounces back off of the 10 exponential moving average up here at about 62,000 and comes back down, it could be a nasty drop continued to the downside. And as we take a look here at Ethereum, same scenario. White line was above the 30 and the 50. Made the cross, and then boom, a pretty dramatic drop to the downside. Again, it is in this area of interest. And you can see that it's an area of interest before, because it stopped right here before, it's gotten to a level and rejected right here before. There's been a lot of orders in this area before in the past. That's where volume and accumulation has happened. And that's where it's gotten to that area. People tend to think that this level, this price right here, 2,400, is a good potential buying price for Ethereum. But like I said, as we see this rise back up, watch for the 10 exponential moving average if it can break through to the top side of that, or do we continue to see the bearish indication on these indicators? All right, now jumping over to Twitter for the main reason that you tuned in tonight. Just in, Bitwise submits filing for XRP ETF. A Bitwise spokesperson confirmed to Telegraph that the filing submitted on the Delaware government website is official. So diving in a little deeper here for you guys, an application for a Bitwise XRP exchange traded fund ETF has appeared on the state of Delaware's Division of Corporations website. Cointelegraph independently confirmed the filing with a Bitwise spokesperson. According to the filing, Bitwise XRP ETF was incorporated on September 30th, 2024. The registered agent was listed as CSC Delaware Trust Company, which is headquartered in Wilmington, Delaware. The filing in Delaware does not necessarily mean that a registration application with the Securities and SEC exchange is imminent. This setup could be part of the early stage preparation, and it's possible that no formal filing with the SEC could take months. The application comes just a few months after Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse hinted about the upcoming financial product, describing the XRP ETF as inevitable following the launch of Bitcoin and Ethereum's ETFs in the United States. And if you remember, about a month and a half ago, when I was doing my last video on the channel before I had to take a break for some personal reasons, we talked exactly about that article. And as you can see right here is the filing, file number 5326147, incorporation date 9/30/2024, Bitwise XRP ETF stationary trust or statutory trust, general entity, Delaware. The approval of an XRP ETF would allow institutional investors to gain exposure to cryptocurrency through a regulated investment vehicle, potentially boosting liquidity token adoption. Now, as we know, this is what we've been talking about with XRP. It's going to be the institutional token. Rumors have circulated about XRP ETF launch in recent months. In November 2023, the price of XRP surged by 12% after a fake filing for a Blackrock iShares XRP trust in Delaware sparked speculation over a potential XRP ETF. And if you guys remember, that is when Larry Fink, they had Larry Fink out there talking about a potential XRP ETF, because he was talking about all the cryptos, right? Bitcoin ETF, he was talking about Ethereum's ETF, and they asked about XRP ETF. He said, yeah, you never know. And then, of course, someone went ahead and made a fake one and put it out there. The application was later denied by Blackrock, and Delaware prosecutors are now looking into the deceptive filing, because obviously that helped spike the price of XRP for quite a second, and they were not happy about that. So what about the SEC versus XRP? Because there is still a couple of days left for them to actually appeal that. So the application in Delaware follows years of legal disputes between the SEC and token issuer Ripple Labs. In 2020, the SEC sued Ripple, alleging that its sale of XRP constituted an unregistered securities offering. Nearly 3 years later, in July of 2023, Judge Annalisa Torres ruled that XRP is not a security when sold on a public exchange, providing Ripple with a partial victory. However, the ruling indicated that institutional sales of XRP could qualify as security offerings. So that is a little bit of a dilemma there, right? Because if the ETF is an institutional offering, that would be a securities. But hey, if it's sold as an ETF, they're allowed to sell securities, but we don't want XRP in any possible way to be considered a security. So it is a bit of a conundrum there. The latest development in the case occurred in September 2024, when both parties jointly requested a stay on the case's final judgment pending the outcome of the SEC's appeal, which they may not appeal. This stay would allow the court to pause further proceedings until the appeal is resolved. So in your opinion, is the XRP ETF a good thing or a bad thing? Let me know down in the comments. Now let's go take a look at the ETF launch dates and what happened to the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum when they launched. All right, so we're going to take a look here at Google. And as we can see, when did Bitcoin ETFs launch? They launched on January 10th of 2024. So we're going to take a look at our weekly charts here for Bitcoin, and we're going to go back to January. And we're going to do a vertical line. So we'll go ahead and put a vertical line on January 10th, 2024, which would be about here. So the ETF was launched, or actually, I guess it would be more here. And then it started dropping and people were losing their mind. Oh no, the ETF was a bad idea, right? Because it went from 43,000 down to 38,000. Where it hit a fair value gap here, and then it absolutely moonshotted to the upside. So for Bitcoin, the ETF launch actually ended up being a great thing. Let's check how the ETF for Ethereum did. All right, ETF, July 23rd, 2024. Let's go take a look. All right, so we put a line in the week of July 23rd. It was not a good thing for Ethereum ever since the ETF for Ethereum came out. It has been dropping. But what we're noticing here, price is starting to accumulate down here below the 50 exponential moving average. And this is on the weekly chart. So another really cool thing, if we start to see this 10 exponential moving average make a turn to the upside, and the weekly charts break through the 50 exponential moving average to the upside, this could be a powerful move for Ethereum back to the upside. And when we take a look at Bitcoin, is it near that? No, Bitcoin is just kind of trading sideways. So Bitcoin doesn't have anything on the weekly per se showing that it could make a move to the upside. I mean, daily's been doing good, but we're getting lower highs each time. This last high was a higher high, which is very positive. So if we see a surge to the upside from this level, again, it's bouncing off the 200 exponential moving average. It'd be nice to see it break back to all-time highs. Now, a lot of people are freaking out because they're saying that it's starting to get lower and lower. Other people are saying that it looks like a bull flag, a ginormous bull flag, because we have the rise to the upside, and then this would be the flag pattern. And a bull flag will usually finish in a very bullish posture. We go back in history here and take a look. Price ran up, started trading sideways and down for quite some time. Over here, this was the January 2021 until January 30th, essentially 2021. So that whole month on the daily before ripping to the upside. This is definitely just a different beast right now, though. I mean, this pattern, there is no pattern. It looks like price rose up really high. People started taking profits up here, and it's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And by the way, for those of you guys who are huge XRP fans, I wanted to let you guys know we did find an XRP game, which is really exciting. Discover how to earn more crypto in less than 10 minutes with the #1 play to earn XRP game. You can go check this out for sure. All you got to do is go to the link down in the description. Crypto Land is the name of the game. You can get started right away. If you don't have an XRP wallet, there's instructions on how to do that as well. How to actually get rare game pieces. You can check out these videos. The game is a ton of fun to play, and you can actually earn real XRP for playing it. So go check it out. Link down in the description, Crypto Land.